A very good afternoon, one and all present here. Welcome to the afternoon session. And this is the last session of the FTP by our resource person, Dr. Haseena Naji. Let the participants join. We will start the session. Dr. Haseena Naji works as an assistant professor at VIT Chennai. She completed her doctoral degree at the Department of English Studies, Central University of Tamil Nadu, India. Her thesis is on the structural aspects of oral narratives of Kurijian tribe in Wayanad, Kerala. Her research interests span the fields of narratology, discourse analysis, cultural anthropology, and qualitative ethnography. Over to Dr. Haseena. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for the intro. And I'll try sharing my screen. This is the last session of the 5-day FTP. And it was nice having you all on board, listening to multiple sessions, multiple perspectives. It was all very nice. Can somebody please confirm if you're able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Yeah. Yesterday, Jayashree had discussed, how do we use Instagram as a medium for education. So today I would like to have a kind of hands-on workshop on, devising different activities on different social media platforms. Basically, this is also how do we harness social media for effective teaching in the digital age. So this is a rough overview of how the session is going to be. We'll be discussing the history of technology in classrooms, and then we will move on to what are the benefits of incorporating social media into education. Then we move on to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and what are the different activities that we can try out in our classroom for effective communication and effective education practices in the classroom using all these media. And then what are the challenges and considerations while using social media for education, and what are the time management strategies, and some Q&A. And so when I was thinking about how do we effectively use social media in the classroom, I was also thinking about how all this evolved, and that thought was really nice because we all had a time when we had these OHPs in the classroom. If you remember, maybe in your college days, you had lecturers coming into your classroom with plastic sheets with something written on it, and then they put it under a lamp, and then suddenly we get to see all the writings on the screen. We had such days. And we also had, I was thinking about all this when I was thinking about, utilizing social media for education. I was just thinking from where all these began. And then I also did some kind of a study, and what came up was very interesting. How the evolution of classroom technology. It all began with these phone books or battledore books or crisscross books. These are nothing but then kind of a textbook kind of thing, where an ABCD basically. These were in effect in medieval times. As a primer for the study. And vowel combinations, numerals, short verses were sometimes written on these phone books. And as you can see here, they've written ABCD here. They were designed primarily to teach the alphabet to children. And sometimes, as I told you, vowel combinations, some numerals, short verses, and all these things. And basically, these were laid out as an ABCDarium for the children. And finally, it all began in the medieval times, but then until 19th century, it went on. And in the 19th century, these phone books or battledore books were displaced by those cardboard ABC books. And if you do a Google search, you can also see pictures of these cardboard ABC books that were there in the 19th century. With all these rhyming words and A for apple and those kind of things, which is even there now. And then there is this magic lantern. Magic lantern is kind of an early type image projector. where they place pictures on transparent plates, which are usually made of glass, and then there'll be one or more lenses to project. And as light passes through a lens, you get an inverted image on the wall. That's how this functioned. And you can see a picture of magic lanterns here. This was one of the early classroom technologies that existed. And a light source also. You can see that here. There's a light source, and there is we insert some picture into the magic lantern, and finally the students get to see the picture on the wall. This is kind of a rough timeline of the evolution of classroom technology. I found this interesting and I thought I would share this also with you. So that we also have an understanding of from where all these began and how it all evolved. In 1640s and 1650s, we had the magic lantern, and it took another 200 years for the slates and the blackboards and the chalk to come to classrooms. And in 1873, we had this typewriter. In 1925, the film projector and the radio came in. And if you also do a rough googling after the session, you can that's very interesting to see, where students sit together around a radio to listen to an audio, which excited the students very much, which encouraged active listening, active learning to the students. All these things. This must look very simple to us right now, but then I'm sure this must have excited students very much back in the 1920s. And then these headphones and audio tapes came. And in 1930, we have this OHP. We all must have probably seen an OHP now. Like maybe the current generation must not have seen that, but we must have seen that in our colleges and college classrooms probably. And then in 1967, these handheld calculators came, and in 1970, this testing system called Scantron came. It's nothing but this OMR thing that came, kind of an OMR sheet that we use now. That came in 1970s, and in 1980 we had personal computers. In 1990, internet came, and then if you also think about the evolution of internet, that's also interesting. There was some uh, 10 years back, probably we recharge for some 100 rupees or 200 rupees, and then suddenly we watch a video and suddenly all our data got over. But then now it's not like that. We have unlimited data, and which eventually leads to unlimited access to unlimited information. That's there now. Then in 2010, we have this Apple iPad, and in 2017, the virtual reality game. And now the way students study things, students experience things is very different. We can utilize all this augmented reality, virtual reality in the classroom. We can, if you want to teach students, especially in the school classrooms, that has a very higher application, a broader application when it comes to higher education. In schools, if you want to teach students about one specific species of an animal, it's very easier these days, because you can literally show the students the animal standing in the classroom using virtual reality. And then in 2004, there's this YouTube coming in, and the coming in of YouTube was also a huge revolution that happened. Actually, students got access to lectures from people across the globe. I remember a time when I was in 11th and 12th standard. I mean, this must be the experience for all of you, I'm sure. But I'm just trying to make you also think about those things. In my 11th standard, I had difficulty studying maths, and there was a time when I really hoped if there was somebody to tell me, I really wanted to understand these mathematical concepts, but then there was no teacher for me. But now when I look at YouTube, there is this very good graphical representations and excellent lectures. If you don't like one teacher, you have the option of choosing another teacher. And then the job of teachers in the classrooms is becoming trickier because of this. The students do not lack information. It's very much available to them online. And like yesterday, Jayashree ma'am was telling what is the role of teachers when everything is around. We are facilitators, and our job is to guide the students in their journey of accessing information, what information to access, and in what order to access information, and how to utilize this information, how to process this information, how to critically analyze this information that they have access to, and all this. That the role of teachers have changed very much over the ages. And now we will move on to social media and education. With this advent of technology and all this evolution that happened in the classroom, there is also this social media coming in. And as teachers who want to be updated, who want to keep up with the trend, who want to utilize everything that's around in order to make our classroom experience a very nice one, we should also be trying to incorporate social media into our classrooms. This was all discussed yesterday in Jayashree ma'am's session also. But then I would like you to take maybe 2 minutes to think how can we incorporate social media in education, and what are the benefits that it's going to offer. You can list out the benefits in the chat box. Maybe 2 minutes. Just list out 2 to 3 benefits of utilizing social media in education. If you're comfortable enough, maybe you can unmute and say what are the benefits of. But then if you type it in, we have a record, and maybe we can share that document also with you, because we are going to type it in a few minutes also. So if you type in, that is going to be better. But then if you feel that speaking is more convenient, you can unmute and tell us what are the benefits of using social media in education. Yeah, I hope you're all thinking about this and typing it in.
Participants, please do come up with your answers. The resource person is waiting.
Okay, in that case, um, I will list out the benefits of incorporating social media into education, and maybe you can give us your insights. Because we all discussed all these things, and this is not something that's new, or some new ideas. We know all these things. All of us have been using Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter. We all are everywhere, so there is no point in showing you a Facebook profile and telling you that this is a profile picture. There's no point explaining all these platforms to you. So I thought we'll have a brainstorm session where you also come up with activities, and then we make a document out of all the work that we did. And also, because this is the last session, probably you're all exhausted and done with it. So I thought we would have a brainstorming session. So your responses really matter. Yeah. First benefit of, because students are more active in social media than they are in classrooms. If we deliver, I can see a chat. Yeah, Julia ma'am says, uh, yeah, I'm also trying to comprehend what she was telling. Maybe incorporating social media into education helps or encourages discussion or topics on topics or videos shared in social media. Or maybe we can try out discussing those trending topics that's in the social media in the classroom in order to facilitate our learning process. Is that what you meant, ma'am? Ma'am, could you please unmute and make the point more clear?
Yes, ma'am. It is about interacting, ma'am, making students talk, ma'am.
Um, so how does the social media come in the stage there?
Probably to initiate something to a discussion or a talk, you show them a video which is trending or something. You
Yes,
can
yes,
make
yes.
them
As a rapport
participate in
activity,
class.
yes.
You can make them more participative in class.
Yes, yes, yes. That helps in rapport creation also, when we go into, especially in the school classrooms, if we play a video in the beginning and then suddenly we get to grab the attention of the students and then maybe we can introduce our topic. That works. Yes, ma'am. And I was trying to say that utilizing social media for educational purposes has several advantages, and one of which is increased student engagement. Using social media, students can participate in active rather than passive learning. As I told you already, students are more active and they feel more active and present in the social media than they are in the classrooms. Um, if we try to teach, you must all have seen these short Instagram reels where they give one small grammar tip or a some grammar rule or something. That's very much efficient and effective than we trying to say the same content in the classroom, because we are, for some reason students and everybody feels more alert and more present over the social media than in a classroom. And by writing comments on other people's articles, seeing some live streaming, or maybe asking to complete some quizzes, students may connect with the material and the different knowledgeable people also. And second is, incorporating social media into education helps in gaining access to many education resources. If we think of the COVID days, we all were stuck at home, and we did not have the luxury of going outside and attending classes, meeting teachers, and all. So this pandemic has simplified online education, because since YouTube is now many students' gateway to online education, and the students may now access several courses and lectures from the comfort of their own homes. Social media helps in gaining access to many educational resources. And many teachers and many experts now live stream their lectures on other websites, allowing students to acquire diverse knowledge. And also, it enhances their understanding of the topic, because they also get to, different types of teaching methods work for different students, and they also have the luxury of choosing which teacher they want, what kind of lecture they want to listen to on the same topic. So that's one advantage of incorporating or the social media coming into the field of education. And also, social media helps in developing good communication skills. But then there is this thing: students' ability to communicate may improve or worsen as a result of their use of social media. If you look at the writings of students these days, the writings are mostly casual. Even when they're asked to do a serious academic writing, they write in a way they write to compose a message over WhatsApp. The language has become so. But then there is also another side where, students feel more confident when they communicate over online platforms. They feel that there is somebody to listen to them, there is somebody to read what they are trying to say. Their opinions are also valid on social media. So they have this higher sense of confidence while communicating in social media. Uh, yeah. But then, professional educators generally agree that students' everyday social media usage is erasing boundaries between school and home. And that applies to even us also, because there is a social media, there is no boundary between our workplace and our home. We are always working through WhatsApp and, different kinds of media and platforms available. But then communicating effectively involves much more than just sitting in a classroom because the social media has come in. It has helped in developing communication skills very much. And many students find that this blogging, texting, tweeting, all these things boost their self-esteem, and they feel more empowered when allowed to express themselves via these kind of mediums. And also they also feel that sense of power when they also have the capability to communicate to multiple people, at least thousands of people. We post something over Facebook and we are sure that hundreds of people are going to read it. There is this reach that gives a immense sense of power. And fourthly, incorporating social media into education helps in connecting and collaborating outside the classroom also. Actually, education and these online social networks are a natural fit if you want to interact with others and work together outside a traditional classroom setting. They may get insights from one another by participating in online with their peers from around the globe, to get comments on something, to ask questions, to initiate debates. So it's possible that we can use social media very positively when it comes to the field of education. And also it makes building networks easy. In most schools, if you check these private schools especially, they have a presence on LinkedIn, which is very helpful when building a network. Students can start networking after they graduate, and they can make a profile on LinkedIn and start connecting with like-minded, same people who are in the same profession, and also build good relationships, build good professional relationships. And one of the benefits of these connections is that there is a chance to find a good mentor also. And by the time they graduate, they can already have a network of contacts in their same area. And provided they join relevant LinkedIn groups and Facebook groups. And also, mm, that provides a credibility in the social domain. Uh, Many number of secondary schools and colleges are providing students with a chance to communicate through social networking, like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all these things. And also many coaching centers these days, they have a YouTube channel and there is this conversation happening in the comment section, and these forums initiated. And these kind of educational institution communities now use these platforms to keep students informed of the critical news, to facilitate factful, fruitful communications, and also provide useful information to the student. There are many schools who, where teachers are given a task to post a reel every day, showing some scientific experiment, some language tips, and all these things. And also, it keeps parents and teachers informed about what is happening in the classroom, about the practical benefits and all these things. Teachers can also share information with parents by making a private group for them. For example, they may talk about field trips, special events, and school projects, etc. Teachers can post updates and share assignments and even live stream meetings on a Facebook group for parents. I understand that there are many school teachers also who have registered as participants here. So I'm specifically addressing them here. And also, social media is a very good marketing platform for educational institutions. All the schools and all colleges and universities have an Insta page, have a Facebook page these days. And it's a great tool for educational institutions to reach prospective students. And educators may gain credibility as subject matter authorities by participating in relevant online communities. And institutions of higher learning may they can use encouraging and helpful blogs for their audience. And they can also motivate kids to persevere in adversity and all these kind of things. Mhm. Is my slide moving? Yeah. Yeah. So now we go on to each social media platforms. So now what all of us know what Twitter is, how it works and the nature of Twitter. Basically, it's a micro blogging platform where there is a word limit for each post. You cannot post a very long thing over Twitter. There is a word limit, and the number of words that can come in a tweet is very limited. And because of the same reason, it's a micro blogging platform. But then the kind of ambience that Twitter provides is very different, which all of you must be aware of. So could you take a moment, think about how we can, what activities can we give using Twitter in our classrooms, be it higher education or school level classrooms? What activities can we initiate in our classrooms using Twitter? Maybe we can take 5 minutes. If you all have some ideas already, maybe you can unmute and say that also. Just create one activity that can be given in a classroom using Twitter. That's it. Yeah, can any of you please respond? If that's the case, maybe I will give you some ways through which or ways in which we can use Twitter in classrooms. We can use Twitter to give live updates. Like, we can ask them to share real time or use that to share real time updates on classroom activities, events, and important announcements too, actually. But then we have to make it the visibility about the visibility setting accordingly. And also we can initiate these hashtag discussions, create and participate in hashtag based discussions related to specific topics or class themes. And also, we can ask them to stay updated, and also we ourselves can stay updated with educational trends, connect with other educators, and engage in professional conversations too via Twitter. Now, can you please think about some activities, one activity that you can do in your class using Twitter? I hope you're all thinking and creating an activity. Yeah, Dr. J. Nagamadri, Dr. Deshmukh, can any one of you please give me one activity that we can utilize in classrooms using Twitter? Dr. Sanjeev Mutulega ma'am, Dr. Salima, Julia. I feel like I'm calling out names in a classroom and pushing them to answer. Hey, Rohini, can you give me an activity, please? Because Rohini has been very active and she's very, very familiar now.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question, ma'am? I'm eating now, so I didn't.
The question is nothing, just create or think about an activity that you can do in a classroom using Twitter.
Twitter. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can ask, the students to write a biography. I mean, the bio we write no in the Instagram caption. So we can ask them to write on their own topics. They can choose one topic and they can write a bio kind of post and post it in their Twitter account.
Maybe to make it more organized, we can use this hashtag. We can create a hashtag for the particular assignment. And when when you click that hashtag, all the answers and all
Answers will come.
points
Yes,
up.
yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yes.
Which is this hashtag discussion basically. And I have
Okay.
created some sample activities that we can do in our classroom using Twitter. We can conduct these live tweeting events. We can encourage students to live tweet key points, reactions, and questions during guest lectures, workshops, or field trips. Now, you must be thinking, how would the others who are not part of it make sense from this live tweet session? You can adjust the visibility settings accordingly, the privacy settings accordingly, so that it's visible only to those who are part of the guest lecture. And you can ask them to live tweet these key points, reactions, and questions, which make them active listeners during the session. Mostly when the guest lectures are less interactive, when it's not really involving all the participants, the learning process tends to be passive. But then, when there is some activity that the learners have to do parallelly, the learning naturally becomes an active process. And also, we can have these hashtag discussions, like just like Rohini was telling now. We can create a class specific hashtag for ongoing discussions, assignments, or related topics, and students can use the hashtag to share the thoughts and the resources. And also, we can have these Twitter chats. We can organize regular Twitter chats to facilitate discussions on specific subjects. So then, everybody tends to get active, and there is some online discussion going on. If you look at these, there are several Facebook pages and groups where somebody posts something and people very actively come up and take part in the debate and the controversies and all these things. But then that works. People tend to be active and there is this online discussions going on. So we can also organize regular Twitter chats to facilitate discussions on specific subjects. We can invite guest speakers or experts to participate in the Twitter chat. That also works in the classroom. And also, there is the student spotlights, which I believe most universities, colleges, and schools do now. They showcase exceptional student work by tweeting images or short videos, fostering a sense of achievement and motivation for the students. And also, that's kind of that works as a kind of marketing for the institution also. Now there is this Facebook. Facebook is more of a networking platform. Compared to Twitter, and all these are networking platforms. But then in Facebook, there is a lot more serious discussions going on, which are text based. Because they have this option of there is no word limit for FB post, and there are these Facebook pages and groups and all these things. So it's more of a community building thing. So now, can you think of some activity? Maybe I'll go to the next slide, and after that, you can think about it. Uh, you know, Facebook can be used to establish dedicated groups for classes or subjects. Suppose you are taking this, if you are a elementary grammar class teacher, you can have a grammar class group for these specific set of students, which is a private group. And in that group, you can facilitate discussions, share resources, and foster community. Of course, there are other platforms which is very specific to the institution also these days, like your whatever learning management system your school or institution is affiliated with, that also works. But then Facebook can also be a learning management system. And you can use pages for broadcasting important announcements, upcoming assignments, and educational sharing educational content also. And also you can encourage collaborative projects by creating spaces for students to work together within the Facebook environment. Now, can you think of create one activity that you can initiate in the classroom using Facebook?
Ma'am, I have one idea, but I don't know how much feasible is this. There is this trend going on, ma'am, for years from Corona. Okay, people are they choose one activity. I mean, they choose one concept. Okay, let's say we have makeup artists.
I understand that this is Rohini speaking.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, sorry. Yes.
I mean, it's a problem of my device. I think the audio is not very clear to me. Let me do some adjustment with the system here.
Okay.
Please.
Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. During Corona, many influencers in Instagram, what they did was, let's say we'll take makeup artists. Okay, what they did was, they styled themselves in their own style, and then they tagged their peer. I mean, their close friend or something. She is also a makeup artist. So she passed on the trend so that many makeup artists follow this trend, and they made this a trend. So like that, in classroom also, we can choose one person to start this, and then we can ask them to tag their friend and do the same thing. So we'll get multiple variations of a single thing, and they can learn through that. That's it, ma'am. This is what I was said. We can ask them to post in the group or in the channel that we have for their class in Facebook. So we'll have different versions of same concept in the channel.
Yes, actually, that's a nice idea. Where I hope all of you understand the trend that Yogi was trying to communicate. Different a network of makeup artists. One does one makeup and then she lets a brush fall down. Correct, Rohini? That's what you were trying to communicate. Yes. They lets a brush fall
Yes,
down.
ma'am. Yes, yes, yes.
The
That's
friend
what.
of the same makeup artist or colleague or whoever, she creates another reel where she begins the video by acting like she
Yes,
catches the
yes,
makeup brush which the other makeup artist put down, and she catches it, and then she continues the activity. Same thing can be
yes,
created in our classrooms also, where one student,
yes, yes.
we give a common project or an assignment, and then maybe let's take the example of creating biographies of authors in your English textbook. To say, for example, maybe one student says, or take one specific author, one student says one specific aspect of that author, and then the other catches the trend, and the next student continues, and it goes on like this. Then every student feels very involved and the level of participation is higher. Yes, Rohini, I hope this was the point that you were trying to communicate. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes,
That's
it's
a
the
very
same thing.
nice activity. That can be done in Facebook also, because they also have this reels in Facebook.
Yes,
That can
yes,
be done. Both in Insta and Facebook, this works. That's a
yes,
very
ma'am.
and
Yeah, yeah. Because in Instagram, if we have a separate profile or account with all the students, we can do this. But in Facebook, it is much easier, ma'am.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
have one channel so that everyone can put in that channel. We can all see it.
precisely. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Now, I also have, I also thought about different activities that we can do in in classroom using Facebook. We can establish private groups for each class, and maybe the same activity that Rohini told can be initiated within the group. That's what she was trying to say last time. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes.
And
That's
also
all.
we can host these live quiz sessions, Q&A sessions. There are these, I have noticed these several net coaching centers where the teacher posts a story asking one question, and then there'll be a text box where the students can type in the answer. And then finally, at some other time, she comes up and says, this is the answer. Students feel very involved when we do these kind of things. There is a provision for them to type it in, and finally that feels like they participate in some competition, something like that. And also most we are all dealing with youngsters, and they're all they have a sense of inclination towards these kind of things, the social media basically. And then they use all these platforms rampantly, and if we try to educate them through these platforms, it's going to be very effective, and it's going to work magic. So that can be done. You can host live Q&A sessions on Facebook. They can type in the answers, they can give you reactions. You can initiate discussions also, live discussions, and they give you reactions. That works. That also gives the students a high sense of participation and involvement. And to address student queries or discuss complex topics in real time. This can also be done in Google Meet or Zoom or whatever meeting platform that your institution is using. But then when it comes to these kind of platforms, for some reason, psychologically, they feel, less boring, more, involved and all these things. So we can also utilize Facebook and Instagram to initiate discussions. And also if we can, create event pages for important class activities. Suppose the same activity that we were discussing a couple of minutes back, where you are trying to create a biography, you compile biographies of all the authors in your English textbook. You can create a separate page for this project. And if you plan to make it a video compilation, maybe students can post their things, and we can do the editing later, or one can do one and then next can, do it as a continuation of the previous activity. All these things can be done. And it's possible that we can create event pages for all these things, providing a centralized space for updates and discussions. And then there is Instagram. Instagram is basically a visual centric platform where there is less text, more images, videos for content sharing. Unlike Facebook, Facebook is mostly text based, even though there is this photos and videos and all possible, but then it's more text based. But then Instagram is visual centric platform. And you can share visual stories about classroom activities, experiments, and projects. Maybe you yourself can, create some content and post. Otherwise, you can also share some, graphic visuals and things to make understanding easier. And also you can use the stories to feature for daily challenges, quizzes, quick educational tips, etc. As I told you before, I have seen several net coaching centers, using this story feature to post daily challenge, quiz, educational tips and all, and also I have seen PhD scholars initiating this kind of challenge. One PhD scholar says that this is what that person is going to do that day. Maybe finish reviewing one particular article, and that person challenges 10 other PhD scholars, and like that. This works in that level also. And also you can utilize Instagram to showcase student work and achievements through images and short videos. Now, can you also think about one activity that you can initiate in classroom using Instagram? One which Rohini was told was a very good activity. So can you just think of some similar activities that you can do in the classroom using Instagram?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
this is Rohini. Okay, okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead, ma'am.
No, Rohini, please continue.
Radhika, ma'am. Okay.
No, I was just looking at who is talking, that's all.
Okay. Ma'am, there is one more trend. This is also very interesting, which is okay, okay. This is
It's not audible to me.
me.
Is it
Yes, ma'am.
audible to any others?
Can you hear me now?
Is it the problem of my device? Was that audible to others?
Hello.
It's breaking.
No, your voice is breaking.
Rohini's voice is breaking, not yours, ma'am.
Okay, 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 ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
It's audible now.
Rohini, you're clear now. Continue.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay. So there is this another trend, ma'am, where the accounts owner, the profile's owner, they create a reel and then they post it with, for example, let's say we post a reel about homonyms. Okay, we post it and then finally towards the end of the video reel, we'll give only one homonym and the other, the relating one, the viewers should give. So our students, they can post it in the comments.
That's a nice activity. You know, we can teach grammar using social media in a very effective way. If all the participants could contribute, it would have been very enriching and it would have been very meaningful. Okay, I have some sample activities again here. You know, you can assign students to create visual learning journals using Instagram posts and stories to document their academic journey. You know, I'm just thinking of an example to give you with respect to creating visual learning journals. The example of the biography compilation comes under this thing. So, can somebody else give an example of you know, these visual learning journals? A biography compilation is one. No, that helps improve students' higher order thinking skills also. I'm just not getting any other example. That's all. I'm just thinking of some other examples that I can give you other than this biography compilation. Is there somebody else who could help me with coming up with an example? I'll keep thinking. If something strikes my mind, I'll tell you about these visual learning journals. I'll just dwell a little further on this biography compilation. You know, how that becomes a visual learning journalist. Like, suppose you're studying one specific author and you want to study the cultural background, the, you know, the political background in which the person lived, and the perspectives that he was trying to portray through his works and all these things. You can assign each aspect to each student and you can create a visual learning journal. At the end of the activity, you have a very nice visual compilation of all the facts and perspectives and other critical observations regarding that particular author and all the works that is written. That's how we create visual learning journals using Instagram. And also, just like Rohini was telling, you can, make it as trendy as possible, as creative as possible, using all these kind of tips and tricks, like, this one makeup art it and then other continuing it like that. Students can ensure coherence in all the video bits that they are preparing. And also you can share short video clips or time-lapse videos of science experiments, allowing students to visually experience concepts. If you check these videos by Khan Academy, and there are some online educators who give very good videos of science experiments and science concepts and mathematical concepts, which makes the understanding of these very difficult concepts very easy. We can also, try such activities in our classrooms, which makes the understanding of these concepts easier using time-lapse videos or maybe short video reels and all these things. And also you can engage students through daily challenges related to course content, encouraging creativity and active participation. If you remember, like one year back or something, no, the trend has always been there. There's this photography challenge, travel challenge, and all these things where you post up, the best photo that you have ever taken or that you have taken in 2023, and then you challenge 10 other friends to post. And when some of your friends challenge you to do something on social media, you cannot avoid doing the task. And then the other 10 friends also do that. The same things can be done in the educational field also, where in the classroom also, where you post an activity and you challenge 10 of your students, and each student challenges another 10 set of students, and then learning becomes very exciting and we all feel very involved to do that thing. Yes. Yeah. Then there is YouTube is a video sharing platform. Yeah, can you just think of some activities that we can do in the classroom using YouTube?
Ma'am, this is Rohini. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since in YouTube, with YouTube, we can post long videos. Let's say for 10 minutes or five more than 5 minutes, we can post in YouTube, where people will definitely sit and watch, because unlike Instagram, they will not be in rush to finish off the video soon. So what we can do is we can split the students in a classroom into 4 or 5 groups, and we can ask them to go around the campus or go around the college or school to take few videos about something, about let's say different kinds of trees or something like that. We can ask them to take a video, and along with that we can ask them to explain the video, like how the trees are, and how it is important to have trees in the campus. So there are all these things. We can ask them to take a video, and then we can ask them to post it in YouTube. This will be very lively, and they'll be able to go around the campus and see what's there in the camp. This is just an example, ma'am. I'm just saying it for an example.
Adding to what Rohini was telling, um, suppose you want to teach some concept to your students, and which requires the understanding of which requires observation of surroundings. Maybe, suppose you are teaching the different kinds of uh, trees or plants, bushy, creepers, climbers, these kind of different types of plants. And then you, she was telling, you divide the students into groups of 4 or 5, and you ask them to, everybody has a device to record and shoot videos these days. So you can ask the students, this works more in school. You can ask them to go around the campus and, try to find out different types of plants and shoot a video. And we can also ask them to, these days it's not very difficult to edit. Even you have editing tools in Instagram. You can edit in Facebook itself. You do not have to be very efficient in all these. You need not possess all these technological skills to post a fairly decent video. You can ask the students to edit it in and compile it together and post whatever they, and as she was rightly saying, in Instagram, we don't have our mental makeup is in such a way that we are not really ready to, watch the entire 10-minute video. We are not ready to spend that much time. We are only ready to listen to or watch a 30-second video. Uh, but when it comes to YouTube, people come with the mindset to sit and watch. So in YouTube, maybe, we can give assignments or tasks which require, which require more detail, more explanation. Such tasks can be given using YouTube. We can develop and ask to develop and share. We ourselves can develop and share instructional videos, tutorials, and demonstrations. We can also ask them to create some videos and post on YouTube. And there is this virtual field trip possible through YouTube. You must have seen, you get this virtual museum tour using some platform. Similar things can be done in YouTube. We want them to explore maybe these many types of lands, like marshy lands, the other, all those different kinds of lands. And then we can create a playlist where there are videos of different types of lands, and we can literally make them go through a virtual field trip where they get to see and experience all these different kinds of lands existing, and they understand things better when we utilize these kind of tools. And also we can encourage discussions through video comments and integrate quizzes using YouTube features. There is a feature in YouTube where you can post a poll. We can ask, MCQ questions on YouTube. So it's all possible through YouTube also. And these are some sample activities that I prepared. You can create instructional videos explaining complex topics in equations or problem solving techniques for students to review at their own pace. And you can assign students to create educational videos as part of a project demonstrating their understanding of a particular concept. And you can also curate virtual field trip playlists exploring historical sites, museums, or geographical locations relevant to the curriculum. Now, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more of a professional networking platform where, people belonging to the same professional area connect between themselves. And educators can be encouraged to create professional profiles highlighting their expertise, achievements, and experiences. These days, it's kind of mandatory that all of us have a very neat LinkedIn profile where you showcase your skills, your abilities, the recommendations that your colleagues give for you, your specific achievements, and all these things, your publications, everything. And LinkedIn offers very good networking opportunities. Probably, at least I'm sure in this FDP itself, a few of you must have come to know about this FDP through LinkedIn. And that allows you to join and participate in education related groups to connect with peers, share insights, and collaborate. There are these LinkedIn groups where you can post also. And it also facilitates career development. And there is a provision for you to show that you are open to work in your LinkedIn profile, so that people who are looking for employees can find you in LinkedIn and check your profile and see how good you are and all these things. You can share resources related to career development, job opportunities, and professional growth. Yeah. And these are some sample activities that I prepared. You can share articles, videos, or webinars related to professional development, career advice, or industry trends with students. You can participate in or create education-focused groups to discuss trends, research, and best practices in teaching and learning, which I'm sure all of you are very familiar with. And also you can showcase the success stories of your alumni providing that inspires your current students, and that provides insights into career paths for current students. Yeah. And now, what are the challenges and considerations that we must take when we use social media for education? First is, the problem of student privacy. It's very crucial that you prioritize and protect the privacy of students when you use social media. We should be very cautious about sharing personal information, grades, or feedback in public spaces. And, creating closed groups of private accounts can help, kind of mitigate these concerns. There was an incident that happened very recently in my hometown. A mother shared a picture, a selfie of herself with a kid uh, on one day, and the next day evening, on the way back of the child from school to home, she was walking back from the school bus to her home, and the kid was kidnapped. So, student privacy is very, very, very important, and it's the responsibility of we educators to ensure that their privacy is protected. And parental consent is very important. Before incorporating social media into the classroom, it's mandatory that you obtain parental consent for students under the legal age. If you're dealing with these people under 18 years of age or at least 15 years of age, it's very important that you get parental consent. Clearly communicate how you're going to utilize social media in the classroom, what information of the child is going to be shared, and how you will maintain privacy. That's very important. And data security. We as educators, as teachers, we should be aware of the data security policies of whatever social media platform that we are using. And we should understand how data is stored, shared, and protected, and how the protection of all these things ensures compliance with privacy regulations and protect sensitive information. And fourthly, maintaining professional boundaries is very important, especially when we interact with students online. Avoid connecting with students on personal social media accounts. Always dedicate a separate professional account for you to engage in these kind of classroom activities. And it's always good or advisable that you avoid connecting with students on personal social media accounts and use platforms specifically designed for educational purpose whenever it's possible. And fifthly, having awareness on cyberbullying and how to deal with it. You should educate your students about the consequences of cyberbullying and establish a zero tolerance policy. Encourage a very supportive online environment where students feel very comfortable reporting any negative behavior also. And next is, how do we handle negative feedback? We should prepare teachers as well as students to, in this digital era, it's very important that we train our students to be digital citizens also. We should prepare them and we should prepare ourselves also to handle negative feedback professionally. Encourage constructive criticism and also teach your students the importance of expressing opinions respectfully. You should establish clear guidelines for addressing conflicts in online discussions. How do we express difference of opinion anywhere? That's more important when it comes to online platforms. And promoting positive interactions is also important. You should always foster a positive online culture by, maybe you can celebrate achievements, success, you can share success stories of students and recognizing the contribution that each student has made to one specific activity. Thus we can, foster a very positive cyber culture. And we should also encourage our students to engage in such positive and constructive discussions. We should always reinforce the idea that social media is a platform for collaboration and learning. and not a place for bullying each other, making each other feel low or less confident. No, social media is a platform for collaboration and learning. And this digital citizenship education is also important. We should, it's high time that we, integrate this digital citizenship education into the curriculum. We should teach students about responsible online behavior, how do they use information ethically, and what is the long-term impact of their digital footprints. These are all very important, and it's high time that we incorporate all these this kind of education into our curriculum also. And this is also a very important aspect, I feel, time management strategies for effective use of social media in education. Educators should identify the most effective platform for achieving specific goals. We should prioritize platforms based on the target audience, content type, and the educational objectives to avoid, spreading our efforts too thin. Actually, suppose if we are addressing, if our audiences are fellow educators, then probably YouTube is an ideal place. But then if you are dealing with college students, of course, Instagram is an ideal space to work on. And if you are again dealing with school children under the age of 12, YouTube Kids is the best platform to work on. And then, you should also schedule your posting. You should use scheduling tools to plan and automate post in advance so that you don't have to worry about, being online at that particular time and then posting. You can just schedule it. And this allows you to maintain a consistent online presence without being overwhelmed by real-time management. And then there is this batch content creation. You should batch content creation by dedicating specific time for creating post videos or other content. And also you can also batch content like this also, like you will post this post something on this specific topic at this specific time or specific days. And this is a very efficient approach which will help you to manage your time effectively, and it ensures a very steady flow of content. And you should always designate particular time for this social media. You should allocate specific time slots for social media engagement. This will prevent constant interruptions throughout the day, because these comments, these discussions, everything will keep on coming and there's no end to it. So these designating or allocating specific time slots for social media engagement will help or prevent constant interruptions throughout the day. Um, and it will help you focus on other important tasks during dedicated work times. And also there is this collaborate effort. You should always encourage collaboration among educators to share the responsibility of managing social media accounts. This can involve co-creating content, moderating discussions, and responding to inquiries, distributing the workload more evenly. That helps you, have a decent division of labor, basically. And it's time to conclude. The most important points that we dwelled on was, first is engagement and connectivity. I was trying to say that social media provides a very unique avenue for fostering engagement and connectivity among we teachers, students, and even the broader learning community. And diverse platforms and diverse benefits. We discussed different social media platforms, and each social media platform brings distinct benefits. From if you want a real-time engagement on Twitter, there is one medium. And if you want to post some immersive visuals, there is Instagram or Facebook. You should understand the strengths of each platform and then use accordingly. And thirdly, strategic approach matters. A strategic approach to social media in education involves setting clear goals, selecting the correct platform, the appropriate platform, and also establishing guidelines for interaction. It's about leveraging these tools with intentionality. That's very important. And fifthly, it's about privacy. We discussed about privacy and positivity. We should address privacy concerns. We should maintain ethical standards, and also we should create a positive online culture to ensure that there is a safe and supportive learning environment. And lastly, we discussed about time management. We should implement effective time management strategies to balance the use of multiple platforms. So that it avoids overwhelm and maximizing the impact of the efforts that we put. And if you have any questions, we can discuss that in the coming 10 minutes. If you would like to add something to the discussion, that's also to add to the meaning of the lecture. And if you would like to share some interesting experiences of yours in your classrooms, you are welcome to share that too.
Hello, Haseena. Is it
Oh.
audible to you?
Yeah,
Your presentation is really good, ma. Actually, when I worked in NIT Trichy, we used to have short film as an assignment for assignment purpose. We used to have short film, and we will ask the students to upload it in the YouTube. So once they completed, we will just see it in the classroom, and then we used to do it. But I have a doubt related to the problems you faced while you're applying. That is, while you're asking the students to do these things in the media, because all the students won't be in the same level, right? Few students will be in the average learners will be there, slow learners will be there. How are you able to meet out all the students, and you are able to make them do the work, especially if you are using media, social media? It might be a teamwork, because when we give the work, it's a film, it's a short film. So we used to divide them into groups, and we used to ask them to do it. But all students won't be involved in it. Some students will be find it very difficult. They hesitate. They don't want to communicate with others. So, like this, have you faced any difficulties or challenges, and how you cope with it?
Yes, ma'am. I was just thinking about my classroom experiences. I would like to share one. In every classroom, there'll be introverts who do not want to really come to the screen. And, what usually happens with such students, that happens very organically. I don't have to do anything. These team members itself assign such students who are not really interested to come on screen or say something. They'll work on the script. Probably they'll have some more work to do with the script or editing. That's how that's
Mhm.
that usually happen in all my classrooms. That's one thing. Then regarding this level of learners, there'll be average students. There'll be very gifted students. And then to me, it's a very subjective opinion. To me, I don't find that, it's very different from doing any teamwork. Even if we do give some classwork, in a very traditional ambience, also the same problems exist, and the same strategies that we utilize to cope up with such situations can be utilized in the when it comes to these social media assignments and works. Also, the same. Maybe
Okay.
we can have these peer help. Maybe their friends can help these average students or those who need additional support, or maybe teachers itself can design tasks accordingly. All these things can be done. The same strategies that we adopt in our traditional classroom activities can be done here also.
Okay. Are you giving marks for that, or is it a separate work?
Ma'am, here we are a technical university basically, so we are dealing with BTech students, management students, law students.
Okay.
So sometimes, we have this lab also sometimes. Then for the
Okay.
lab sessions,
Because in an
we
Trichy,
give
actually,
marks or,
we have assignments.
we have this rubric and some marks will be allotted to. There's a rubric.
Okay, because there we have to give assignments. Well, mostly we used to give only written assignments. Later we had a meeting. Other time I came up with this idea that why can't we give something out of the classroom, so that will be interesting also, because all are technical students, and they don't know, already they excelled in everything, in language too. and it will be better for them to improve their communication, right? So earlier we start with the only role play on the stage activities, but later we thought that okay, we can do an experiment and we can give marks for that as an assignment. So teamwork, we can give marks, but actually it really worked out, and they did well, and most of the short film have been uploaded in YouTube also. That's what I want to ask about your classroom experience.
Ma'am, I have seen teachers asking them to create digital online profiles because we teach them this how to create resumes, how to build video profiles, digital resumes, and all these things. So I have seen teachers asking students to prepare a digital online profile and then award marks to that. A 1 minute video resume and then award marks. These things have, and I've seen that.
Okay, ma'am. Your presentation is really good, very lively.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice
Okay, thank you
talking
so
to you.
much. Is it the
Ma'am,
first
can
time
I
or
give
yes?
can I give a suggestion to it, ma'am? To your problem? Actually, in
ma'am.
every class we could find average, below average, above average students. But Vygotsky, I mean, sociocultural theories, he says that in each group there should be one or two more knowledgeable students. So those who are below average and average, they could learn from more knowledgeable students. That's a way we could make it. I mean, deliberately we have to ask the students to form such groups within the classroom.
Okay, ma'am.
And
And
the same
another thing,
strategies
evaluation, regarding evaluation, we don't evaluate.
In Montessori classrooms too, we can see that they divide students into groups, and each group will have one older student. Suppose if one is 4 years of age, each group will have somebody who is 5 and a half years of age. So that student can help or support these other his peers. Like that we can do in our higher education also. Like we have, like Shivagami ma'am was telling, we can have one student who is very intelligent, who is capable of supporting his classmates, his teammates.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Actually, I want to know how students are how do you are doing you are able to do with your students in the VIT or other institutes. That's what I was very much interested. That's what I asked this question to you. It's really good. All the
Ma'am, you have some inputs to give, ma'am?
what ma'am? Actually, when I did this, actually it was a challenging one. Everyone told that for NIT students itself in a faculty meeting, they told that it's impossible. Students won't accept it. Students won't be interested, and like that and all. We came with a lot of comments, and I thought that it was a challenging one, and I told that I will initiate it first. So when I told this to the students, actually I started it with only production engineering students and biomedical. No, computer science engineering students. First year CSE and first year production engineering students. When I told them, they hesitated. Actually, CSE students, most of them are studies kind of students, and they used to take down notes. Even whatever we are saying, they will just take down the notes. So such kind of students, they find it very challenging, ma'am. How can we do short film like that? They are very bold. They are very good in communication. You know about NIT students, right? But the problem is with hesitation. They don't have confidence to do it in the media. I told them that it's really good. But production engineering students, they're very average compared to CSE, but they're very much interested in activities. Whenever I go to the classroom, I give only activities to them. If I give activity, most of the students, slow learners, average learners, I used to tell them that there's no any slow learners, average, and fast learners here. Everyone are random. Everyone are equal. Like that, I used to give them a lecture when they start the classroom itself. But we know, right, who are slow learners, who are very good, very average, how they are able to communicate like that. So when I told them about these activities, from the beginning, they will do only activities in the stage, whatever it is. It may be a debate or any kind of argumentative writing. First, we'll have PPT with videos, then we will have the classroom session. And they have to do such kind of activities. Some quiz will be there, games will be there, language games, whatever it is. So they'll be very much interested. If it is English classroom, they'll be interested. When production engineering students, they're first when I say this thing, there is you have to do a short film. We will give marks related to that. They are ready. They said okay. I told that I'll book the halls, first year halls and hospital, whatever it is that inside the campus. I'll book the hall. I'll help you like that. And when they started this, right? Of course, CSE also hesitated, but they started with we give time inside the classroom itself. We give time for them to prepare the story dialogues like that. They can prepare any short film. First, I give them a horror and mystery, or like that. They can choose the genre. And they have to do a short film. So students, they have to come forward, and they have we'll give time 1 month time for them to prepare the dialogues for
Ma'am,
preparing.
can we say a few words of gratitude to the resource person and wind up, because it is going to get cut. Sorry for the
Okay,
interruption.
okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That was an elaborate, in-depth, detailed lecture on social media. You made us travel through the various interesting features of social media websites: Twitter, FB, Insta, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Explained us to how it helps the professional development and career updates. We were also surprised at the various ways social media can be used for language teaching and learning. Thank you, Dr. Haseena Naji, for guiding us with many useful tips. Thank you once again. Thank you, participants.